Welcome to this week's show. We'd like to thank Border City for giving us the 3 free comics again. And coming up right after this, we'll bring you some comic reviews straight from George's apartment. George's apartment. George, kick ass. What do you think?
Well, it's the last issue, right? It's Mark Millar and John Romita Jr. Very anticlimactic given how long it took to come out, but I think as a trade paperback and as the movie that's coming out, it's going to be great. Like, it's going to be something that people never expected out of superhero genre. It's brutal. It's like Quentin Tarantino brutal.
Yes.
The ending. And, you know, kind of sloppy artwork, but I like John Romita Jr.'s sloppy artwork.
Okay, Michelle?
I liked it. I kind of wish that we didn't, or that I didn't read the last issue first, but thanks, Mike. But no, it was good. I liked how she's an adolescent, but the gore is very, very, very adult.
Hit girl.
Yeah, I do like Hit Girl. And I'm sure if I found this as a child, I probably would have gone nuts. And yeah, but I also could tell that there's a balance between character development and personalities and specific characters and how they wrap it up at the end. It seems like there's a lot there that balances out between the violence and there's actual storyline and characters. So I would actually want to go back and read the entire thing, and I'm excited for the movie coming.
Great. I also want to point out on Inks, Tom Palmer, a veteran of Marvel for 30, 40 years. Great inker. This is not a masterpiece, but Mark Millar is one of the better writers working in comics, and I mean, the fact that it got turned into a movie after, I think, 2 issues. I mean, the guy's got imagination. I don't think that every idea he does is gold like he seems to think. Like, every half-baked idea he has, he turns into a 6-issue miniseries. But this is good. I do recommend it. There were a couple laugh-out-loud moments, which I'm not going to give away, but Mark Millar, if he has one strength, his dialogue is incredible, and he's got some great one-liners. So I absolutely recommend this. Again, not the greatest thing in the world, but it is a solid comic all around. Writing, art, characters, everything. I think it's going to make a good movie. So that's it. On to the next one. George's apartment. Jolie?
I guess today we're looking at Madame Xanadu. I don't know anything about Madame Xanadu, and I still don't know anything about Madame Xanadu. This is one of the most confusing books I've ever read. The art was very nice.
Yeah, what do you recommend it then?
I maybe recommend reading from the beginning somewhere.
To give a quick plot summary, there's 2 sort of magicians. They show them interacting with Homo sapiens that are coming up. These are Homo Magi, I believe it's pronounced.
Yeah, they're refugees from Atlantis.
Yes. So this is in DC continuity. It is a very tiny slice of a much larger story, and it is well written and well drawn, but there's so little given that I can't even. I know what may be coming next issue, but I have no idea what the rest of the series could be like, and I don't know if I want to know. Maybe I'm on the fence.
I'm interested because it seems like the content could be interesting because you have this sort of ancient civilization and they're actually watching Homo sapiens evolve. So what they do with metaphors and what they do with ancient society versus new society, and there's this prophecy that I think the Homo sapiens are going to take over, and one of them's like, psh, they never could, and then the other one is like worried about it. So I would be interested to see where it goes, but maybe I'd wait till it's in like graphic novel form till I had a lot of them, or just give it a few more issues, and then if not, I'd say no.
Jolie?
Well, it's so well written that I definitely want to go back and see, maybe even look up on the internet what the premise of this book actually is, because there's like, the art is beautiful. It looks a lot like Fables, but it just seems like there's so much there that you can't really jump in at number 19. It's almost impossible.
Yes, definitely well written and well drawn, but probably not enough given in this issue for a first-time reader. So, on to the next one. George's apartment. Batman&Robin, George?
Yes, this is the Batman&Robin, the new series, which in this was issue 7. They start off with Batman is dead. It is now Dick Grayson who's Batman, and his partner is Damian, Batman, or Bruce Wayne's son. Now they, Grant Morrison, as he'd like to do in the, what was it, Battle for the Cowl, or Rest in Peace, he brought back all of the old Batmans, including one called The Knight and Squire, which originally debuted, I believe, in the 50s. And so now they're in England, and this is the English version of Batman and Robin, who are now fighting with the original Robin, who is now Batman because Batman's dead.
Yes. Not confusing at all. It's great too because now we sort of find out there are like British versions of like, there's like a Riddler-ish character called Old King Cole, who's like the British version of the Riddler. It's just great. I mean, we're dropped into the middle of the story, and which would turn a lot of people away, but I absolutely loved it. And Cameron Stewart on art is a worthy replacement for Frank Quitely. So all the way through, I did have to go back and reread some parts because he does kind of, like, it is a little bit confusing, but once you go back, it all makes sense. And we get to the end, we have a little bit of a cliffhanger. So I absolutely recommend this. This is like a 10 out of 10. This is a great comic. Michelle?
Yeah, I had to reread a little bit too, and I had to ask George a couple questions because I wasn't quite sure because it did jump into the very middle of things. But it was refreshing to have a comic book that sort of takes you intelligently and doesn't, have to keep reiterating things over and over again, and just gives you a chance to just sort of jump into it. And I liked it. I'm interested to see where it goes. I don't know, is it going to tie into Blackest Night, or is this after?
It's actually continuity with everything.
Yeah.
From Rest in Peace into Battle for the Cow, with Blackest Night, with Outsiders and JLA. It's all part of the continuity.
But you don't have to read any of that stuff.
No, but I found it a lot more impressive than the whole Blackest Night thing.
Yes.
And if they do sort of take a Blackest Night toll with it, because eventually someone gets resurrected, I'd like to see where they go with it. I'd like to see where they go with it, and I think it'll be interesting. I liked it a lot.
Do you recommend it?
I do recommend it.
Georgie?
Yes. Art was awesome. There was a guy with buttons all over him.
Well, that wraps up another weekly review. We'd like to thank Border City Comics for providing us with 3 books. And be sure to join us again next week when we review 3 more of your favorite funny books. Sweet dreams from the comic book Syndicate.
Mom! We're filming! Sorry, Mom.